Hi friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Juan. I'm a yarn addict, hence the name Juan the Yarn Addict, and I want to thank each and every one of you guys for stopping by to check out my video today. This is a yarn and crochet channel where we talk about all things yarn and all things crochet, so if that interests you, please sit back and enjoy this video because today, my friends, I offer session number 34 of WIPn IT with Juan. So I think for today, I'm going to work on more than one WIP because I recently took an inventory of what I had and I have more than I can count on two hands. So in order to knock that list down some, I feel like I need to touch all the things. So for today, I'm going to work on more than one. And if you're not familiar with what WIPn IT with Juan is, this is literally a crochet session where I sit back, I crochet, and I just talk about everything that comes to my mind. I become your crochet buddy. So I pose questions out there, I just ask out into the void. You may be answering me back out loud, or you may be just thinking the answer in your head. In either case, we're just here to have a good time for about 45 minutes to an hour. So if that is of interest to you, please pull your WIP up, grab something to snack on, something to drink, and have a good time. Before we jump into the WIPs though, my friends, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and maybe leave a comment or two about anything you may hear, or maybe even a suggestion. So without further ado, I'm going to place us on a brief pause. I'm going to get myself organized and I'll be right back. Okay friends, so I decided for the first WIP, I'm going to continue working this textured cabin throw. So I did the tutorial on my channel, but this pattern belongs to Mama Swift. Her name is Trisha, her channel name is Mama Swift, and yes, she entrusted me with that tutorial. I did it, and so yes, I need to finish this. I'm about 20 inches off from the finish line, so I'm going to go back and forth until I finish. Now I am running two cakes together, just two random scrap cakes that I made in haste. And so let me just pull the centers out of both of these. I think this one was giving it, okay, there it goes, perfect. All right, so I have these two, and I'm just going to attach these to the two strands that I have on the project, wherever that may be. Here we are. So I'm just leaving the tails hang out for right now. I'm not really worried about them. I just need to get to the finish line size-wise, and then I'll worry about that later. There we go, perfect. And I'm working this up with an 8mm prim hook. Super, super nice. And before I start crocheting, I need my coffee. Do you guys have your drinks? I mean, it's important. We have to stay hydrated. For me, I do need to start drinking more water than I do. Everyone around me tells me I don't drink enough water, which is true. I mean, I don't drink nearly as much water as I need to, but we have coffee. It's my usual coffee, but for some reason, my coffee doesn't taste the way it normally does. Maybe it's the sweetener, I'm not exactly sure. But it's coffee, and it drinks, and so that's all that matters. That's all that matters, it drinks. So anyway, this textured cabin throw is a 2-row repeat, and it's so easy. And I've seen many people make it so far, and every one has come out beautiful. The colors chosen, I haven't really seen a scrap cake version other than this one, but I'm sure they're out there, and I can't wait to see them, you know. And what I like about this is, well, first, the beginning, right? So if you watch the tutorial, you'll notice that, like, the bottom part of this blanket doesn't start with chains. Well, it kind of does, but not really. So it's like a chain 3, and then you double crochet into the first chain, and then you chain 3, and you repeat that. So you have these little rings across the bottom, and then you work out of those rings. It's very, very clever. I really enjoy how we started this. And honestly, the only reason why this blanket is not done is because I have literally everything on the hook. Like, I have all the WIPs, but then I also have my mouths and cows. I have tutorials on the hook, just sitting there waiting for me to get back onto it. So, yes, I said I have to put you guys on the back burner, the whole grouping of WIPs. So I thought I had everything organized where like everything that was under the table WIP wise were WIPs that I could potentially mark as UFOs. So if you're not familiar with what that term is, it's an unfinished object, potentially potentially an object or a project that you don't plan on finishing, for whatever the reason is. But during my inventory, while I was listing all of my WIPs, I asked myself, why are some of these projects under here? I could finish them up in no time, It goes to show that I was a different crocheter then than I am now, So I went ahead and I pulled some of them out, and I said, this is not going to be a UFO. This is a WIP. This is going to go in the pile in the squirrel's nest. So I have piles in the squirrel's nest of my WIPs that I plan on completing, starting with the ones that are almost done. Yeah. And then I'll just work backwards. So out of all of my WIPs, I have 2 of them that are now officially UFOs. So one is the top that was made with that wool spun yarn from Hirschner's. So before they went completely out of stock, I wound up with, I think, 12 balls of the red and black. And I was making a sweater, and everything was going great except the sleeves. The sleeves were giving me all the things I didn't need it to give me. So I said, you know what? It's going in a tub. I'm going to put it away, and I'll get to it when I get to it. Well, I never got to it. But the reason why it's a UFO and not a WIP isn't because I can't finish it. It's because I'm not that size anymore. Now, I wanted to make a red and black sweater for me because I don't own one. But, yeah, so that was over 100 pounds ago. So I decided that I'm going to remake it, but in order for me to do that, I'm going to have to frog it all back. There's just no way to save it the way I've crocheted it. So I'm going to frog everything back and start over again. I'm going to use the same hook, the same stitch. Actually, maybe I'll change up the stitch. I mean, now that I have had much practice throughout the year, I can be a little creative with the stitch work. So, but I'm not going to promise anything. I'm not going to overcommit because I have a lot of things on my hook. But for now, it's going to be frogged back. It is a UFO, and I do plan on making myself a red and black sweater eventually with that yarn. So there's that. That's the plan as of right now. Plans may change, So anyway, what do you guys have on your hook? Are you guys working on a UFO? How many WIPs do you have? I believe that we all have a WIP somewhere, even if it's just one. We all have WIPs, I do know a few people out there who say, I don't start another project until the one I'm working on is finished. Is that you? I want to meet you. I want to know exactly what your thought process is, because I would love to do that. I really would. Okay, where are we at here? So let's come down here. Okay. I had to think about what I was doing there. Okay. Good stuff. So I think this yellow here is the first time that yellow has been placed on this blanket. Interesting. It's fine. It's fine by me, I'm fine with it. So let's see, where are we at here? Okay. I can't lose sight of like where these stitches are, There we go. So this front post treble is autopilot. Like once you have the feel of the stitch, I mean, you can just do it without looking. But because I'm holding 2 yarns, I have to pay attention. Now, what I'm doing here, I'm not doing a treble. I'm doing an extended double crochet, because I'm working with 2 yarns and it's just super bulky, you know? So it still comes out very nice. So there's that. Now I wonder how many cakes this is going to take to officially finish. Like, I'm assuming I'm going to need 2 more cakes after these 2. Just food for thought, you know? Because so far it's eaten quite a bit. But it's all good, because I think that this is a great stash buster project. I can't talk. Stash buster project. It's helping me get rid of all the little balls that I caked up into these cakes, which is super nice. And by default, I didn't realize it, but the colors turned out to be very mermaidy, you know? So, yeah, minus this like red down here at the bottom, and then this yellow at the top, it's all like blues and greens and purples, which is super nice. But honestly, it doesn't even matter at this point, you know, because the overall purpose of running scrap cakes together is to just put it together and see how it turns out. But it's intentional, so it's fine. Now, I'm sitting here trying to wonder and figure out what should be the next WIP that I work on, because I have the quarter panel that I need to continue working on the frame. That one is the one that's like closest to done. I literally need to just do one more round and that's finished. So that might be next. But then I have my raglan to work on. I have my corner to corner with Bernat blanket. This one right here, please don't fall. I have this one here to work on. It's super squishy. I love that. So I'm not sure. The thing about it is when you see all of your WIPs together in one spot, it's almost like you want to work on all of them. You know, you started them for different reasons. You had different intentions for each project with one overall goal, which is, let's get this done, you know? Oh, before I forget, I gotta place this on a brief pause, save the data, come right back. And yeah, hopefully someday soon I'll be able to just record without having to pause. But I would rather do that than take the chance of losing the data and having to re-record everything that we just did together. So, oh, that's super nice. I love this. All right, I'll be right back. And just like that, I am back. Oops. There we go. Okay. So, the fall is coming. Do we have any ideas for fall projects? Are we already looking at ideas, and are we planning for the season? I have a feeling that, you know, this time around everyone's going to be better prepared than last year, you know, with their projects and things. Do you guys hear that? So, yes, that's an airplane, but yeah, that's weird. Anyway, squirrel moments. They happen all the time, friends. What were we talking about? Oh, the holiday. Yes. So, the next holiday is what? Halloween, I believe? Well, we have Labor Day, but like, it's Labor Day, right? Or did it pass? I think it passed. Yes, I think we just had Labor Day. So, the next one would be Halloween. Okay, well that's great, because that happens at the end of October. So we have all of September and all of October, but we should have everything ready by like October, right? Like at least the middle of October. So now would probably be the time that, you know, let's plan some Halloween projects. Let's do some Halloween things. Because I almost feel like we work on Halloween, right, until about 2 weeks before Halloween. But like during Halloween, we're already planning for like the next holiday, which is like Thanksgiving. So, and then before Thanksgiving, we're already working on Christmas projects. If not already like right now, depending on what kind of project it is. It's going to be a busy season, friends, at least for me, because I mean, I've already been hooking on projects for the upcoming season for the last month. Just to, have some sort of organization behind the scenes. I don't want a repeat of last year where I spent countless hours awake in the middle of the night finishing projects for recording and all the things. So we're getting a head start right now. So yes, I'm already working on Christmas things. But as far as like Halloween is concerned, I really didn't invest too much time ahead of time, because I feel like those are going to be very like, what's the word I'm looking for? Impulse. There you go. Impulse projects. You see something, ooh, I gotta make that, so let me hurry up and make that. Whereas if you're making something for Christmas, it's like, okay, I have to plan this out a little bit. I want this to be super nice because it's going to be for a loved one or for the house, and I'm having guests over and they're going to see it. You want everything to look nice. I'm assuming we want things to look nice for every holiday, but I just feel like there's extra oomph put into like Thanksgiving projects and Christmas projects, especially if they're gifts. So it's going to be super, super nice. So what kind of Christmas projects would you like to see out there on the YouTube streets? Maybe not necessarily from me, but just in general, because I'll tell you, all of us, you guys included, we're very creative people. So, anything is possible when you're creative. At least that's how I feel. So, there's that. And this red is amazing. I don't know how well it goes with all the blue and the purple, but hey, I'm here for it. It's a scrap version of a textured cabin throw. And I think the kiddos are going to love it. Just because it's different. We love a good scrap project. And all the bumps and the ridges and things, I mean, they're going to go like this. Wow, look at all the bumps. It's so nice. So, anyway, the 3 doubles on top of the post stitch there is my favorite, because I can go on autopilot. It's literally skip 2 and then you do 3 doubles into that 3rd stitch, and I love that part. I don't know why I love it so much, but I do. I think it's fun. Oh, we're at another color, which is great. We're always at another color. It's a scrap cake. It's a scrap cake. Anyway, so once this is done, I'm going to showcase this yet again on a Wednesday, just as like a finished object. But I think that I am going to work up another one without running 2 yarns together. I want to know what that feels like, because if I go into autopilot with just the 1 yarn, oh my goodness, the possibilities are endless. Like, I have to constantly look down because I'm holding 2 yarns together, and I don't want to drop one. And there's really no way to know that you've dropped the yarn until you actually look down. Of course you can feel it, but it's different when you're crocheting fast. It's like, which stitch lost that yarn, So, now we're at blue and purple, which is nice. Love that for us. So I think what we're going to do is hop over to that quarter panel blanket in a few moments, just because I feel like that's the closest to finished of all of my projects, And how nice would it be to have a finished object for the next podcast? I would love it. Like, I'm trying this personal goal of having like 1 completed project for the podcast on Mondays, even though a lot of my projects are like huge projects, they're not little, so it's fine. I just have to plan my time accordingly so that I can have that dedicated crochet time to really just put the metal to the pedal and get it done. So I feel like when that border gets done, I can just, check it off the list, be done with it, put it in the makes room. I don't know where I'm going to put it just yet, but yeah. I still have the Annie M blanket that I have to finish, and I'm holding 2 yarns together for that one, and that one has been already gifted out to a dear friend of mine, so I have to get that one done. I thought about bringing that one on for this particular session, but I said, you know what, we have time for that. Let me see how far I can get before I actually bring it onto the channel. So again, because it's already been on here like twice, I think, and I believe it was during a WIP'n IT with Juan session. So there's that. Anyway, this brunette blanket, I sat here and crocheted that up during one of the last WIP'n IT with Juan sessions, and one of the things that I was thinking as I was crocheting it was, why did they decide to put these colors together? Like, of all the colors that are out there, they chose gray and 2 shades of yellow. Look, I'm not mad at it, but I just want to know, like, what made that decision actually come into fruition? Like, who gets to check that box and say, let's do 10,000 Ogos with gray, mustard, and lemon yellow? Because I want to meet that person. I want to know who that person is, and I want to know what goes through their mind when they make that decision. I'm sure they do studies and things, but someone has to be the yes person, And the reason why I want to meet that person is because I spent months collecting vintage variegated yarns, and those yarns have some amazing color stories. So the sequence of colors, it tells a story, and I wonder what happened. Like, a lot of the yarns that we see today, they're great, don't get me wrong, they're amazing, but so were the color stories of the yarns from back then. And I just want to know, like, why we're not revisiting that. Why can't that be a thing again? So yeah, I'd like to meet them and have that kind of conversation. I don't know if we'll get anywhere, because I'm sure, they all have their reasons, but I want them to know there's people out here that think about that, because gray goes with everything, right? Why couldn't we put gray with mustard and then maybe another gray tone, like 2 grays and a yellow? Just, I'm playing devil's advocate here. So anyway, let's go ahead and finish this row, and then I'm going to pause us, and I will be right back, saving the data and all the things. Okay, so there's that. All right, 1 second, and we are back. Okay, so I think I'm going to put the brakes on this one for this time around. Make a big bunny ear. So we did, let's see, we did 1, 2, we did like 3.5 rows. Not bad. Not bad at all. Okay, into the whip basket it goes. So there's that one. And let's see. Here is the 1/4 panel blanket. Oh my. Let's see. Do I have a J hook around here anywhere? I'm sure I do. I have all the hooks everywhere. Hold on 1 second. I should have been prepared, my friends, but that's okay. It's just us. I am amongst friends. Let me just pull out one of my Nelson ones. I don't have any of the other ones around. I'm looking for a J. That's an H. This is a J. Okay. So I just need a J. Let me take this tag off. This is so pretty. What's the name of this one? So this is Rainbow Flower with purple tamarind and white rings. It is gorgeous. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Very nice. I got this, I ordered this in June for Pride Month, I think. Not exactly sure, because it seems like every time he puts out a new hook, I have to have it, you know. That's my guilty pleasure. Hooks. Hooks are my guilty pleasure, you know. When Brian puts one out, I look at it, I'm like, I have to have it. Do I need it? No. But do I have to have it? Yes. I have no idea why, but I just have to have it. And I do crochet with them, not necessarily on camera. And the reason why, well, for tutorials anyway, because when I record a tutorial from above, this part of the hook hits the table. And while I crochet, you hear this as I'm crocheting. So I don't think that sound is pleasant at all. So I don't use it. But off camera, I use them, and then I guess for WIP'n IT with Juan sessions, I use them, like right now. So it's super nice. It is a little bit of an adjustment because this is an ergonomic hook. You have all the bulkiness here in the middle, which is fine. It does allow me to crochet for long periods of time, which is why I went with them in the first place, you know. When I work with my hero hooks and all of those metal hooks, the ones that are not ergonomic, I don't crochet for long hours at a time. And not because I can't, of course I can, but yeah, I use them when I'm just crocheting for about an hour or two at a time. But I use these when I'm watching a movie and I plan on crocheting for more than 2 or 3 hours. So, yes, I really enjoy it, as you can see. So, it looks like we're going to have white for a little while. I don't know why I didn't change the colors sooner, but it is what it is, right? It's fine. So, for this particular project here, I am literally on my second round of granny stitches. So I have a round of single crochet, chain 2, single crochet, then the granny stitch, and then the singles. So I'm alternating, you know, modern granny is what they call it. So I intend on continuing around the blanket until I get to the size that I need, which I think, like I mentioned earlier, I only need 1 round in order to get to the width that I'm looking for, which is great. I mean, that's exactly what I need, just 1 round. But I think what I'm going to do is, after the round of the grannies, I'm going to do the single crochet, chain 2, single crochet as like the finishing round, just so that it has a nice and neat border, I think. I don't know. I thought about doing shells too, but I think it would be too much, you know, because it's got the corner to corner, it's got the modern granny going around it, like framing it all, you know, and then shells, it may be a bit much, you know. We have to be tasteful with our design decisions. So, anyway, these are very, very nice to work with, by the way, and I was going to do a review on my channel with all of my hooks, but I'm going to wait until I have all the sizes. I think I still have a few sizes I need to get, so once I have all the sizes, I'll go ahead and do a review and just talk about these hooks. Now, I will tell you that Brian also has solid wooden hooks on his website, which they're great too. Like if you enjoy wooden hooks, he has those solid hooks. They're great. At least they look great. I ordered some. I'm waiting for them to come in. So yes, there's that. Now I am proud to say that all of the yarns that I used for this project are all value yarns. Big Twist, Loops and Thread Soft Classic, Impeccable yarn, Walmart Mainstays yarn. Like everything in these scrap cakes are all value yarns, and I love that. I am huge on value yarns because I was raised on it, you know? Now, there's wonderful yarns out there, and I love them too, but I didn't know about them until after I started this channel. So, you live and you learn, but I don't think I will ever be able to let go of my passion for the value yarns and the things that you can create with them, So whether it's, a worsted weight or DK weight or even chunky weight, if you can get a deal in a steal with a value yarn, the possibilities are endless. And sometimes it's not the yarn that makes the project. It's the person making the things, like the stitches. It's the stitches that makes the project. So, and this hook is so nice, I'm just saying. Anyway. Where was I? Okay. I lost my train of thought for a second. Now, I was asked recently, Juan, are you going to stop showcasing value yarns on your channel now that you're visiting, your local yarn stores and things? And the answer to that is absolutely not. A big part of why I'm even doing this on my channel, like all of this, is because I'm trying to show people the many things that can be created with value yarn, The wall behind me is value yarn. The wall in the squirrel's nest is value yarn. I love a good value yarn. And when I say good, I mean a steal and a deal. So, I love the excitement of getting yarn at this insane price. Like that Big Lots sale that happened recently. Oh my goodness. I don't think that would ever happen. Is this feels like, speaking of which, Karen 1 pound in aqua. Just saying. This was the colorway. Actually, I just made that mistake again. It wasn't Big Lots that had this colorway. It was Joann's. They put 4 of their colorways of Karen 1 pound on clearance. This was one of their colorways. Big Lots put terracotta on sale. So it was terracotta, some variegated situation. I don't know. They had 4 colorways as well. It was two variegated yarns and 2 solids. It was terracotta and a beige color. I can't remember exactly the name of that colorway. And peach. They had peach. So, yeah, this is super, super nice. Love it. Anyway, yeah, when I started crocheting at 15, we used the Karen 1 pound, because you got a lot of yarn, and it was a decent price. I think the regular price back then when I started crocheting, the Karen 1 pounds, were $4.99. That's the price I remember, because when I had my part-time job paid me $5 an hour back then. And I remember I work 1 hour, I get 1 skein. Obviously I didn't math correctly because, taxes and things, but that was my thought process. If I worked 20 hours that week, between the weekend and after school, I could get 20 skeins of yarn. Now, I never got 20 skeins of yarn, My aunt would always, just pick three. So I'd pick three colors, and they were my yarns, which is super nice. And I remember my first Karen 1 pounds. It was white, burgundy, and black. Those were the three colors. And I made a moss stitch, little lappy, lapgan type thing. It wasn't really anything to shout from the rooftops about, but it was my project that I finished, It had a bunch of mistakes in it. I've shown it on the channel. But yeah, that was my first completed project. And I used Karen 1 pound. I believe it was, all three colors are on there. So there is that. Oops. So the thing about working with scrap yarns is the thicknesses of the yarns as you're going along. Like once you cross over to a new yarn, you're not used to like the new thickness. You have to like adjust to it as you go. That's what's happening to me right now. Anyway, let me go ahead and pause the data, and I will be right back. That's nice. Okay, 1 second. Okay, and so we're back. So yes, I don't recall trying any of the other yarns that were on the shelves. I know my aunt and my grandmother used to shop all those other yarns. The Dazzle-Air, I believe, was a big thing for my grandmother. My aunt, myself, and my mom were about the Karen 1 pounds and the Red Heart. I believe my grandmother also used the Sayel yarn, So I remember she used to pick up yarn at Kmart. And I always thought it was a big thing because right across the plaza was a hair crafters. And my grandmother would get her perm and sit under the bowl. And of course I would be in the little waiting area, very impatient, wanting to go shopping for all the things. And I'd have to sit there and behave and wait for her perm to be finished. And, when the rollers came off and they were styling her hair, I was literally standing by the door waiting. I remember. And, if I was good, she would let me, pick something out. But it was always just one thing, Only allowed to have one thing. And I used to fuss. Why only one? I was good. Anyway, it was a good time. And we would go to Denny's after. After everything was done, we'd go to Denny's, we'd have food, and then go home. It was a good time. So, but every trip it was yarn. I remember when we went to the Kmart after Haircrafters, she would always get that sale yarn. But we would always get our Karen 1 pounds from Woolworths. So, now that store, oh my goodness. Like, I remember the whole side of the store, along the side wall of the store was all yarn, and it went all the way down. And many people would shop for it. It wasn't one of those departments that just sat there, And it was always stocked well, and the people were all so friendly. And, I don't really remember too many trips. I remember a few. But what I remember most are the stories that my aunt and my grandmother would tell me about the shopping trips. Like before I even started crocheting, they would go to the Woolworths, and in the Woolworths they had a restaurant, and you could get a milkshake and a burger or whatever on one side of the Woolworths, and then on the other side you had everything else. And so I would get the milkshake. I would always get a milkshake. I didn't really care about the food. It was always a milkshake for me, strawberry. And, she would sit there and she would go through her purchase. She'd look at all the things and make sure she got everything. But me, I was all about that milkshake. And what I really enjoyed was the time that I got to spend with her. I just felt like it was that special one-on-one time. Anyway, memories are good to have. So there is that. I'm blasting through this cake, and I am loving every second of this. It's so good. And I can see why I ran through a bunch of teal. It's just, I really love this yarn. It's very durable. You can put it through all the things, and it'll still be intact, and, it's good yarn. The only issue I have now with Caron 1 pound, yes, my friends, I do have an issue with Caron 1 pound. It's the colorways. Like, I have a whole wall right here of Caron 1 pound, right? And I love all the colors. But believe you me, I am not the only person that thinks this. I know this for a fact. We need more colors. We need better colors. We need a better color selection. We need a better color palette. These are a lot of muted colors. Again, there's nothing wrong with them, but come on, It's 2024, and we need an upgrade. Give us Caron 1 pound in new colors. Like, take these colors, put them through a machine, and revamp the colors. If other labels can do it, so can they. Keep your basics, your blacks, your whites, but when you're looking at these different hues of green, come on, If you want, keep them, but add new ones. Make it interesting, Give us more options to play with. That's my only issue with Caron 1 pound. I love how thick it is. I love the yardage. I'm even okay with the price. For what you get, yeah, I'm okay with the price. I could sit here and tell you it could always be cheaper, but I could also say that about all the yarn. It could always be cheaper. But I will tell you what, if you came out with 12 new colors for $11.99 for that yardage, I would buy it. I would. Because it's good yarn. It's not for everyone. Not everyone will go for the Caron 1 pound. But that's the story with everything else, There's a lot of people that don't go for Red Heart. There's a lot of people that don't go for Big Twist, for whatever their reasons are, But for me, being a fan of Caron 1 pound, I really wish and hope that someday they come out with new color stories, new color palettes, for us to enjoy, So we will see. I don't know. I don't know if they will. But even if they don't, I'm just going to find creative ways to really put these colors together and make some special things, So we'll see. I have been using them, and I remember, whenever I shop my Caron 1 pound, these yarns, have been here for quite a while. When I pull it out, everything around it stays exactly still. It's so weird. I love it. It's so good. Now, I was actually thinking of challenging myself. No yarn buys, right? Just use what I have in my stash. And I would, run that as long as I could to see how long I can go without doing any kind of a yarn buy. But I can't. The yarn addict in me won't allow me to do that. So, yeah, I have to try all the things. I need more of the things that I already have, But the thought did cross my mind, friends. I did think of it. I'm like, I need to try that. Have you guys ever thought about that? You know, like maybe we need to stop buying yarn. Let's just use what we have. Let's, focus on our current investment. Let's look at what we have and make beautiful things with what we already have. But see, for me, I feel like I'm going to be missing out. There may be a steal and a deal that needs to be had, you know? So that's why I feel like I can't do that. Even though it would be nice, it would be very nice if I could do that, I'm just saying. But have you guys had that happen? Like, have you thought about that? Did it work? I'm so curious. But for me, I would imagine trying it and failing at it and going to Joann's very quickly before they closed to just get that one skein that was on sale, Like even right now, like even if I said to you guys right now, I would stop buying yarn and only use what I have in my stash. I can tell you right now 5 yarns that I need to complete a collection of some sort that I don't have that I need. So just one, I'll name you one. So the all-in-one granny, they have an espresso colorway that's like all the browns. I need that because I have all the purples, all the blues, all the greens, the reds. Like, I just can't. I have to have it. I have to have it, friends. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I can't not buy yarn. So it poses the question, what if I only purchased the new yarn? So as you guys know, I'm an affiliate for various companies like Premier and Ice and things. So, if they come out with new yarns, then it's okay to make a purchase because I need to feature the new yarns on the channel. But, would I be able to limit myself to just that? I then ask myself, well, what am I going to do if I run out of white? These basic colors that I need to tie my projects together. There's just certain things that I need to have in my stash. Black, white, charcoal gray are the ones that I need to have the most of. I mean, right here. And yeah, that's all the black and the gray. And the white I have, well, look, I have 3 cubbies of white, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the black and the gray. And they're packed double, so there's 9 in the front and there's 9 in the back in each square. Well, there's some missing, because I'm using the yarn. So anyway, I don't think I can do that. But if you have any tips, I'm interested in knowing, like, how do you guys do it? If you are doing it, Anyway, let me pause this very quickly. I'll be right back. Okay. I am back. And something tells me that this cake that I'm working on right now could have been put onto the textured cabin throw. Look, it's all like mermaid colors. I don't know, sea colors, mermaid, whatever we want to call that. I don't know. But I will tell you, I am really enjoying this hook. Well, first of all, because I'm looking at the tip here and it's purple. It's a dark purple, and that is my favorite color. For the newbies that are new to my channel, my friends, dark purple is my favorite color in the whole wide world. I have a cubby behind my head. It's in the dark purple, and I have a skein of Diva Pink in the middle, because a lot of people tell me, they're like, Juan, what's with the empty cubby behind your head? So I do that, just so you guys know there's yarn in there. Yep. And I know, like, it's triggering for some people to see that. They're like, Juan, can you please just put another purple there? We get it. But I kind of like having that there to just let people know, There's yarn in there. It's not empty, I promise. It's not empty. But now that I've raised the topic of the yarns behind me, I need to order more yarn. I need to fill up my cubbies. I need some gray. I need 2 grays. I need more black. I need more Aran at the bottom. I need more white. Yeah, I need more blue right here. Yeah. I can see the white wall behind, so I used the 9 behind it. And I have 1, 2, 3, I have 7 in the front. I used 11 skeins of blue. Yeah, I need to order more yarn. At some point. I'm in no hurry. It's not like I'm running out tomorrow. Oh my. But for my walls, both this one and the next one, it's literally one of 3 things. It's either Red Heart Super Saver, or it's Big Twist, or it's Loops and Thread Soft Classic. And then, as far as my Premier yarns, I have them in another area exclusively off to the side, because I really love Premier yarn. So I keep Premier's yarn to the side. But no, I don't count that as part of my wall. Yeah, I don't really get as many deals or steals with the Premier yarn. I mean, there are many sales that go on, but like their basics yarn, the basics worsted, it's like $3.99 all the time, you know. But these yarns that I have behind me, like I get them when they're on sale, and I can get like 4 skeins for $10. You know, I wait for those kinds of sales at Joann's, or when Michael's has a 40% off sale. I'll go ahead and stock up, and I'll get all the colors. So, yeah, with my Premier yarns, I don't ever get that kind of a sale. So, I'm very, very, very cautious with my Premier yarns. So when I work a project up with them, it's for like a special project, you know? So, yes, I do love my Premier yarn. So, now we're on to a new color, which is super, super nice. I think one more round. I don't know. I'll have to take measurements. We'll have to measure and do all that. But I feel like once I do this round here, and then I do that final round with a single crochet chain 2 single crochet, I may have the width that I need. We'll see. Because without the border, I had 48 inches wide by 72 inches long. So 4 feet wide by 6 feet long. Yeah. And the length is fine. It's the width. I wanted it to be a little wider than 48. You know, so I was thinking like 52. So, yep. That's what it is, my friends. So, yeah, I think we're going to wrap this up in just a moment. I have to say the things. So, my friends, if you enjoyed this WIP'n It with Juan session, don't forget to hit the like button. Leave a comment or 2, answer some of my questions. You know, I'm always asking questions, you know. Feel free to do that. And, of course, if you're not subscribed to my channel, please hit the subscribe button. We'd love to have you. It's free. All right? So, yeah, let me finish the stitch at least. Let me at least do that. There we go. Okay. Not bad. Let's take a quick look. It's just so big at this point. So, we're working on the border. Yeah, I feel like all I need now is just that one final round of single crochet chain 2 single crochet to just pull it in. And that'll be it for this one. So, yay, can't wait. It's huge. It's a big blanket. Love it. Look at that. Isn't that nice? I'm holding it like this just for those who haven't seen it yet. Sorry. There we go. All right. Okay, my friends. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this WIPn IT with Juan session. I told you about all the things, you know, the like, subscribe, things like that. Anyway, I'm going to leave you guys go for now. Until the next one, take care. Bye, friends.